purpose driven entrepreneurs and CEOs. Welcome back to another solo podcast here at the Life School Masterclass Show. I'm your host, Elona helping companies scale and align their purpose and profits. And today I want to talk to you regarding creating consistent cash flow in your business. This is a big pain point right now with the current economic climate that we're going through, but also the market changes, consumer behaviors, where people are going, some of the difficulties that are out there connected to cash flow or not recurring cash flow, so to say, in the business, and also inflation and all of those metrics, which obviously make it a little bit more challenging to be able to create consistent cash flow within your companies. So, I want to share with you that the best way to always start with understanding how to create cash flow in your company is always with the people that already know, like, and trust you. A lot of times in business we get so focused on getting new clients, new leads within the business, new relationships, new in the door, but we forget about those relationships that we have invested so much time and energy to cultivate. So understanding, being more focused and understanding how to get back to the people that already know, like, and trust you, and seeing where they are in the journey, touching base or checking in with them is definitely going to be a very important business activity to help you create consistent cash flow right now. When you always look in house to look at opportunities or leverage opportunities that you already have, that's always the best and the smartest thing to do with anything that happens within the outside of the business. It's much like personal development work. We always are looking on the outside to get, to achieve, right? To chase, but a lot of the times, the thing that we need is actually inside of us. So I kind of mirror the same concept when it comes to tapping into those relationships that you already have nurtured over time, over the years, depending obviously how long you've been in business and your audiences, and then just checking in with people and seeing where they are, and then opening up that conversation to ensure that you can be of support to them, right, and vice versa. I think it's always going to be the best business activity that really aligns with, also when it comes to the back end of our businesses, which it's really important to have systems, processes to continue to nurture the relationships with the people that we've actually served, right? So that's more on the client end, but what I'm talking about is more on the prospect end, where we are tapping into relationships that we have already developed, and those relationships have not turned into clients that we already know. I will give you some examples of this so you can tap into current lists of people that you're connected with on social media. That's always the best way to start, or the best place to start. Relationships are people you've been connected to for a while. Don't just rely on posting content, just really start a conversation, right? A genuine conversation, human to human, so that you can again check in with people. That always will be the best spot. I always say go to your Rolodex, your phone numbers on your phone, because you'll be amazed at how many of those relationships that are closest to you haven't even checked in for you haven't checked in for a while, I should say. So social media is the best place to start. Whatever platform, obviously, you put the most energy into, and the platform that you have created the most value from, I would always start with that at that place. And then a list of your contacts from your phone. That's always the next great channel of relationships. I like to call everything a channel, because everything, is a journey at the end of the day. So understanding how to utilize that channel is really important. So those would be two suggestions. And then of course, most entrepreneurs have a podcast. So tap into, if you have guests on your podcast, tap into those conversations, right? Because if people have been joining you on your podcast, then obviously the level of relationship building is higher than someone that has never maybe talked to you, or has just met you virtually, or has been consuming your passive content as a passive consumer, right? Or a passive audience member. Always try to think of relationships that are very, very warm, meaning they're very, very nurtured. Those are always going to be the best places that you can tap into when it comes to creating consistent cash flow. And then, of course, look for opportunities from your introductions, from the people that can connect you with other people. Based on obviously you being very clear as to what is it that you offer and what is it that you are seeking as far as support. I find that the more clear you are as to the support that you are seeking, the more people know how to support you, right? Because just like anything, people are busy. So unless you're clear about the support you're seeking, then they cannot support you. So I say clarity with that in that aspect is really important as well. Now, as far as the creating consistent cash flow, when it comes to tapping into those relationships, it's always opening up those conversations because just like anything, without a good conversation, nothing will ever happen, right? If it's silent in your business, that's not good. You always want to be proactive with checking in with people. I like the term checking in because that's very humane. And especially if you believe in service and if you believe in what you do and you believe that it helps other people, then checking in with people to offer them support, I at least find is the thing that naturally I would do from my heart anyway. Because care is one of those important things that sometimes we lose focus of in business. I know that business is a tough journey and we do have to focus on profit and sales and money and all of that. However, if we don't begin with care, the genuine care to support others and service others, then the second will really never going to work. So I believe in aligning things from the inside out with everything we do. So just checking in, if you're still passionate about what you do right now, that could be a collective reevaluation or realignment with the things that are being offered in the marketplace. And if that's still something that you're passionate about, I would do some inner work and meditation around getting some clarity and insight around the thing that you do. Is that still the thing that you are passionate about doing? Because if you're not, well, it will show in everything you do. So being in authentic alignment is no longer just a nice thing to do in business. It's become the core business principle that will help you stand out. And it's actually the only thing we can leverage when it comes to information being everywhere. So, people again can find information from a million angles, but nobody can talk about the experiences and the things that you speak about, that you believe in, that you're convicted under, that you really help you stand out, what you stand for, what you believe in, and helpful information as well for people to be able to really come from that place of authenticity. I love it that it's become our business practice. I've always been someone that was always on a mission to humanize business. So now this has become a business practice. So we can fit it under our business book as a business practice. And it's the best practice to have anyway, right? Because we all know how important trust is in the marketplace. And the only way to increase the potential of building trust is to be of service, is to be helpful, is to be resourceful, is to be a good human. Um, and those are all things that we can learn if you don't already have them. But I really think it's connecting it to your passion and your purpose. Because again, if you're disconnected from that, it's just going to sound robotic, mechanic, like something that you just got to do. And you're just not going to be inspired and motivated to take the action to conversate, to generate conversations. Because if you're not connected to it, you're going to have an inner misalignment, and that's going to show up in the action or misaction or passive action that you're going to take in business. That's why we start from the inside out. Because once the inside conflicts are resolved, then you can implement and take action, and then generate those conversations. So if you're looking for a conversation, I would love to check in with you wherever you hear in this episode from this podcast. Let's connect. Let me check in with you. Let's see how is it that I can support you, you can support me, and look for ways to figure out how do we can continue to add value to one another. So I will reach out to me wherever you're listening to this podcast episode or watching it, and let's kind of take the next step in our conversation. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Don't forget to subscribe, review this, and share it with other purpose driven, heart driven entrepreneurs and CEOs that are the next visionary leaders looking to impact the world and make the world a better place. Thank you so much, and I'll see